I told you that I would not come back until I finished my 3 books. That is Finn by Gamal Williams. That is Homegoing by Ya Gayase. That is the other book that I got when I went to a trip to Brandon, Missouri. But I'm back anyway. This is Diane. This is Diane Whitmore of Whitmore Reads, and my drumsticks and my phone that I should stop beating on, and a little flourish in the background. So if YouTube is picking up on that and I get blocked or you can't hear anything that I'm saying, that's why. I do not own the rights to this music. I am going to read a couple of comments, and then I'm going to show you some books I got today from the library. Up first, a calendar that I love so much. I'll show you a few months of the pictures that are representing that month or what they wanted to share for that month. And every single day on the calendar, there's these Black history facts, these American facts, whether it's white or black or Asian, whatever. But mostly, of course, it's from the 18th and Vine Museum, the Negro League Museum, where the baseball artifacts and historical things are kept, and the Jazz District, and I love it, and I look at it daily, and I wanted to share that with you. And then under that would be the library books, and then book of the month, my book of the month picks. It's really just one book for the month, but I got 2, okay? And I also got some movies in this haul from the library, just a couple things. One is on Hulu, but I watched that on my, I can watch it on my laptop, but not on my TV because I don't have it hooked up. I don't feel like doing it. My son didn't come to visit me yet, so he's the hooker-upper of things, and I just don't have the time to do it. So I got something that I've already seen, and I think something else. I don't know. Anyway, I think I got 2 different movies that I'm going to watch tonight after I do some reading. I'm going to read a whole book tonight and also tomorrow. So I got some short things from the library. Some of the things that I got from the library, since COVID happened, we are back open in the library. However, I just didn't feel comfortable sitting in there yet. Maybe I'll get around to it, but just not yet. There's not a lot of people in there. Everything is very distant. The coffee shop is open. Nobody was in there but the person that's selling the coffee. He looked so lonely too. He's like, hi. I was like, hey. Poor baby. Anyway, I'll be back. Maybe I'll get vaccinated. So anyway, I got my popcorn to go along with my movie pick for tonight and just do some reminiscing. I've already watched it a couple times, but I just feel the need for her voice again, like I do often. So I'm going to read a couple. I am exactly where I need to be on my phone on my YouTube channel, this channel that you're watching here. And I'm going to read. We were reading at the time Some Sing, Some Cry, which is back up on my shelf behind me. And we're done with that. At least I'm done with that. I know KT has held on to it for a minute, I believe. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to her. I know AC said that she's held on to it. She was pretty far. I think up to chapter 24, what have you. The last time I think I read comments from her. So anyway, don't let me be wrong. You can fix it down there in the comments and let me know if you guys have finished Some Sing, Some Cry, if you're going to pick it up later. It is a heck of a long book. But anyway, so some of these, I'm saying that to say that I'm still reading comments at the beginning. Although I told you basically in the beginning what I'm going to be doing in this video. I'm not going to make it really long. Okay, so I'm going to pick up with Miss Karen from Run Right Reads with all the R's. She was saying, and she's commenting on the video again about Some Sing, Some Cry. It says, the line about drinking from a trough, I think, is meant to be poetic, to show the animal nature of his infancy. That's my thought. And I agreed with her. I said exactly what I was saying in the other videos is the writing style. Since she is a poet and a playwright, that comes up a lot in the book. Poetry and its snatches of life are wonderful. And don't call for much explaining, but it's intertwined in this book that it's agitating, or it's so intertwined in the book that it's agitating me, is what I was saying when I want the story, when I just want the story, basically. Yet, that is also part of the beauty of the tale. So what we were talking about there was, and Intosaki Shange, everybody knows that she's an amazing, or was, rest in peace, an amazing playwright and poet. And now, of course, we all know that she has novels as well. But that was the first novel I've read of hers. I've listened to her book. It was a nonfiction book, and it was she had a lot of name drop, and she knew a lot of people in the industry, whether it was dance, theater, and writers, and just a lot of famous musicians and everything. So it was a really good book to learn about her, and I read that. I don't own it. It was a library checkout, but I own more books of hers, like Sassafras, Cypress, and Indigo, Nappy Headed something, whatever. I'm sorry, but I know it's in there. But her poetry came into Some Sing Some Cry, that so much so that I think that you can probably tell when she was writing and when her sister was writing, or they blended it together well. But you kind of, maybe her sister was a poet as well, but I don't know. I felt like, because I've read some of her poetry and books, that some of the poems or the poetry aspect of that novel was her. So that's all I meant to say there. And then I think we have another. Yes, this is from KT. She said, and this was interesting part of the book, because we start talking about, I'll just read the comment. My grandfather, this is KT from K the Reader, watch her channel. My grandfather knew his grandfather and great-grandmother who were slaves. It wasn't as long as people make it out to be. It sure was not. Because you're looking at a person that was not a slave, obviously. I was born the year that Black people got to vote. I was born a riot. I was born into that era. And so I'm as old as the Black vote. It wasn't that long ago, is our point. And I love that she made that point. And then John Orpheus is a writer who made a comment on here, and he said, Denise, I want you to read my memoir, just released on Penguin Random House. I love your analysis. Send me your email today. I did. Or send me your email, Addie. I did. I don't have an email from you, but I have your name, and so I need to look it up. And I'm not sure if I looked it up that day that I read it, but his name is John Orpheus, and this is from the video. I'll read that later. But anyway, he has a memoir released on Penguin Random House. Okay, if I can get my lips to work. Then Run Right Reads, with all the R's, okay? She said the internet is great. Again, talking about going back and looking at family stuff. Isn't it something that we have all these public records now? People after they die, while those of ages past are just gone. Exactly. Like, we have all this knowledge we have all these footprints on the internet from when the internet started. You know, we're the generation that got to see it in our home, the first computers that came into our homes, although they weren't the first computers. They were in businesses, and you know, scientists were using them. Everybody was using them in, you know, big business world. And then we got to bring the personal computers home, the big old chunky ones. I remember our first one, and it was when I lived in Florida. It was amazing. But anyway, the footprint she's talking about that we have access to right now with all of our family. And then back then, some of that stuff is just gone. I love watching Henry Louis Gates Jr. on PBS talking about, you know, people's heritage and lineage. And he did this thing the other night with checking the DNA of this comic, or these two comedians that were on there. And one of them was related to John Lewis, Senator John Lewis. I would have cried right then and there. But anyway, then AC says, Diane, this one is about, and we've addressed that. This is about a horrific accident that happened in Dallas-Fort Worth area. And my kids still live there, two of my sons, and wife, and grandkids. And so his wife, I don't have a wife. I heard myself say that after that. But my son and his wife still live there. DJ, my son, lives there still. But no, they were not part of that pileup. Her family was not either. And Her next comment says, here in Texas, there are those pushing to erase. Now, this is a good comment too. This is along with KT and Run Right Reads, which is Karen. Two Karens? Is that Karen? Run Right Reads? I think so. There's a lot of Karens. Anyway, here in Texas, AC says, there are those pushing to erase or downplay, in brackets, the mention of the word, the mere mention, she says, of the word, and she's got it in quotes, slavery in parts of textbooks. How are they going to learn? Okay, so these stories are a part of our history, and we should never want to forget, no matter how traumatic. I could not imagine someone telling ancestors of the genocide that was the Holocaust to write about something else. Yeah, just write about something else. If we don't continue to tell our stories, then who will? The absence of its telling, well said. Because I remember saying in the book, like, when you're not, and Toni Morrison, of course, has that book, Playing in the Dark, and the whole absence of not mentioning Black people in your, these historical romantic tales or books, period. The absence of is telling. It's telling. Somebody was there. I mean, where all these people come from? How did we all get here? And just not going to speak on it in your book. So I'm sure that played a big part in her only writing for her audience, her community. So those were the comments. And this is from a video, Art Books Life, back when I was something Black Pain. It's the fabric of this country is what I titled that, because it seems so. Okay, now talking about this, this kind of goes right into it, segues. Didn't mean to, but it is what it is, what it is. It's May, but I just wanted to go back and show you. This is the cover of the magazine. Hope you can see it because of the light. In here is kind of dark, but I don't feel like getting up and turning on anything else. Beautiful images. Horrific times. So there's another. But let me get to the months and show you. You have to, or basically you get to learn a lot. So January has this documented mass lynchings here. It's got some information. I'm going to read all this for you. But that was for January of this year. It's up to date. February. Bus. Yeah. And then March is Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe. Beautiful representation of Native life. Beautiful. That was March. And my month, yeah, this is very eerie. April 2021. That's the picture. And now we are up to May. And I shared this on Instagram just the other day. And this is all about marching for jobs and integrating schools. And also, every single day it shares a part of what happened on this same day, back when. So today being Saturday, May the 8th, it says 2009. 2009, members of the KKK burned a cross in an African-American neighborhood in Ozark, Alabama to intimidate Black residents. Yesterday, it said in Belzoni, 1955 in Belzoni, Mississippi, NAACP member Reverend George Lee is fatally shot after angering local white people by attempting to register to vote. Wanted to read that because I just mentioned the year I was born and the Black vote. I just mentioned that, so wanted to kind of travel back because I read that already. So this is some of it, and maybe I'll show you some other months, some other time. We done here? No. Library Hall, real quick. Women of Impact, Changing the World. And I think this is on Netflix, but again, it's National Geographic, but I'm going to watch it in my bedroom. I have one TV because I have bookshelf over there, bookshelf over there, bookshelf over there, bookshelf behind me, and books in my room. I only need one TV. The TV's in my room. I don't have a TV in here. Computers over there for work. It's just not as necessary as it used to be when I used to watch a lot of TV, because I get in my reading mode and who needs it? I listen to music and read more books than I do anything else in this apartment. So, my girl, our queen mother, there she is. And again, this will be the third time I've watched this. But again, I'm not going to be plugging it up and watching it on my laptop again. I'm going to watch it in my room tonight with my smart food popcorn. What else did I get from the library? Hey, grandkids. Grandma's still crazy. I am trying out some other stuff. Oh, I love her, Jasmine Sullivan. This is reality show. I don't own it, so I check it out at the library. Tweet, kind of old, but I like her voice. I also got the internet. I like them. And this is new to me. I've never heard of them. I listened to this today. I shared some pictures on Instagram today of my great grandnieces and nephews and my sister Sabrina. We had a good time today at the park. It was so much fun. It was such a perfect Saturday. Like, it's not too hot and it's not cold, obviously, but it was just beautiful just watching them run and play. But I picked this up. This is Jean Grey, Grae, and it's called Everything's Fine. And it's a guy and a girl on here. And I got to maybe 3 or 4 of their songs. I'm really feeling it. It's kind of like, it's hip hop, but kind of neo soul, and also kind of a different vibe, like a, what is the word? I can't think. Anyway, but it's really cool. I like it. Etta James. Enough said, right? And so that's all the music that I wanted to check out, because when I'm reading, like I'm listening right now to Floetry, but I can't read too much to Floetry because I end up singing the songs, and there's a few songs on there that I get up and I just start dancing to. Then I'm like, okay, let me just get over here on my step and start working out. Picking up the rest of the books and try not to make them fall. So, excuse. But I'm so excited, you guys. I found it. Freaking finally found it. Now, the last video I showed you some of the books that I purchased since I've been here. And again, I just didn't go around the whole, on every shelf and dig out all the books that I bought since I've been here. So there were a lot more, and I'm not going to do it anytime soon, I don't think. So, but one of them I had to show you, and it was the Search for J.M. Coetzee series that one of you lovely people told me about. When I read The Childhood of Jesus and didn't care for it, I gave it like 1 star. Then I found the second one, which I showed you guys in the last video. And today in this book haul, I've got the last one, the third one. I'm so excited. So anyway, I got a lot of little books because I'm going back to my Sunday shorts. I really miss doing that. And I went around my apartment today before I went to the library to see if I had a lot of my poetry books that I haven't read, because poetry books that I own, and the reason I bought them was because I will reread and reread. I'll sit down at breakfast and read maybe 2 or 3 poems. By the end of breakfast, I've read maybe half of the book or what have you. So I do that a lot. I read really short books, and there's no need to keep telling you about them or whatever. So that's kind of what I did today, is went looking for books so I won't have to buy them. But the library sells me on most of the books that I have owned throughout the years, so I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So I'm sure from some of these I'll probably purchase. If I like it enough, I might purchase, and so I can have my time when I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and can't go back to sleep. I'll read a book of poetry until it's done with. So this is not a book of poetry. This is just small. I went looking for a book that Jamal over on Instagram, his name is from a movie, I think, A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich. It's called Be Real Black for Me. And he has a book by this author, but they didn't have it. And he mentioned how good it was. And look at this little short book. So I got the only other book that they had on the shelf. Can't say the name. It's P. Djeli Djeli or just Jelly or Jelly Clark. This is the book. There you go. Hope you can see that, but it's called The Black God's Drums. And I can't wait. It's like so tiny. It's like how many pages? 110. And there's the author, if you can see that. Sorry, guys. I'm going to put on my glasses. All right, so I'm going to throw them over here. And then the next one I have is, now this is a book of poetry. It's called I Wore My Blackest Hair. Poems by Carolina Duan, D-U-A-N. And there's Carolina Duan. And look at the cover of this darn book. That's beautiful. I love it. So I'm going to read that. And it's very tiny again. So that's a perfect Sunday shorts. If you guys want me to do Sunday shorts, I will probably do it like in the evening after I've read the book all day, or in the morning after I've done with it, and just give myself time to, you know, possibly read more poems throughout the day and then talk to you about them or just show you what I've read. But this is Daylight by Roa Marsh. Poems. Another beautiful cover. I was like, oh my God, I have to have this. Roa is a Bronx native. She's is a poet, performer, educator, and activist. She is the poet in residence at this time at Urban Word, New York City, and she works feverishly toward LGBTQIA justice and dismantling white supremacy. Did I not say that word right? Marsh's work has been featured in The Breakbeat Poets, Volume 2, and Black Girl Magic from 2018. All right. She's got blurbs from Elizabeth Acevedo, again, the lips, Morgan Jerkins, Jose Oliveras, which I read a few, couple of years ago, whenever. I was in Texas when I read Jose Oliveras' book, and I loved that book. If you guys, I just remember the cover of the book was orange. Anyway, so there's the cover of this one. It's dope. It reminds me of, the artist, and I can't think of his name. And I got this from a mention from Pretty Brown Eyed Reader. You know, she reads poetry during the month of April, National Poetry Month, or International, or the World Poetry Month. I would like to think everybody recognizes poetry in the month of April. And it's Finna, Poems by Nate Marshall. Thank you, Pretty Brown Eyed Reader, because I enjoyed her poem, and she always has wonderful suggestions. And I watch her channel, and I'm thinking, I got to go today to the library, so I might as well check out her poems. And so I watched a few of her videos before I left the house, and I'm happy. I tried to get everything that they had. They didn't have that much. I think that was it. And then Jessica Care Moore, We Want Our Bodies Back, Poems. And there. Hope you can see that. I'm so blind. I'm nearsighted, like I can see the book really good here, but I can't see the monitor and what kind of lighting you're picking up. But my sister saw this book today when we were at the park. I took it out and took some pictures of it so I can share them on Instagram. She's like, I love that cover. I would buy it just for the cover. I might not read it, but I would buy the cover for the cover. And hey, the cover snatched me. And then of course, Jessica Care Moore. Definitely going to buy it. She's amazing. I miss Def Poetry Jam. I really do. Joan Didion. Did I just say Joanne? I did. Anyway, Joan Didion. And I saw this at Barnes & Noble. I had read a Joan Didion book, and then I was like, I got to get everything she's written. So I went to get a few, and then I put them back on the shelf and bought some other stuff, because that's just how I do. Slouching Towards Bethlehem. And I remember being in Barnes & Noble, and I read some of it, and I was like, dang, I really want it. But I wanted the other books for my granddaughters more. So that's the time when I bought Crown, and now I'm not going to give her Crown, but I did buy Elizabeth Acevedo's poetry book for my granddaughters, which I had already read, and definitely got to give that to them. So anyway, this is a beautiful cover too. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that. Fugitive Atlas, Poems, Khalid Matawa. And he's on the back. Khalid Matawa is the author of 4 previous poetry collections, including Tocqueville, 2 books of criticism, and many books of translation from the Arabic, including works by Adonis Saidi Youssef, and many others, so forth and so on. And he teaches at the University of Michigan. Gray Wolf Press. Hold on. I think Gray Wolf Press is the company that produces or publishes books for one of my favorite writers of all time, and that is Mr. Percival Everett. Don't quote me because it could be wrong. But anyway, this is a beautiful cover, and I can't wait to get into that. Very small book of poems. And this is my dude. So I read the first book out of the library, owned the second one, and couldn't find the third one or the second one, but got the second one from thriftbooks.com. Ooh, they be finding them. But anyway, The Death of Jesus, a novel. J.M. Coetzee, author of Disgrace, winner of the Nobel Prize. And there is what it looks like. I can't wait. So you know what that means. I'm going to be reading the second one really soon. Yes, I'm still reading Che. But the library's open and I needed it. Okay, so Absolute Trust in the Goodness of the Earth. This is one of my favorite female writers of all time. If you know, you know. You know, Alice Walker. So, new poems. And this, of course, is not a new book because I read the newest Alice Walker book of poetry. And it was really big and nice. And it had the Spanish speaking on one side and English on the other. And it was so dope. And it made my day. I still need to buy it. But I checked it out at the library and I freaking loved it. Yes, book of the month picks coming up next. Anyway, I just wanted to look at this is 2003, so these are not new. And it's funny when they put new poems on the books, and you know the book's going to be around for quite some time, but that word new is always going to be on there, so I just wanted to clear that up. That ain't the newest one. I've read the most recent newest one. And here they are. Oh, it was sitting on some books that I took pictures of recently. Book of the month. Book of the month. What say you got, Miss Diane Whitmore? What you got, girl? Okay. This is what really got me. I already opened up the box. Check this out. They think they know me a little bit. They always give you one of these, right? Little bookmark says book of the month. Cute. And it always says you've got great taste. Always says that. And I do, and there's the first book. But then I'm like, who y'all been talking to? Check out what this says. I'm a freak between the sheets. I'm gonna need y'all to shut up. Is what I'm gonna need y'all to do. Seriously, that's not me. Last week, same. Subtract that month. Nah, that's not me. Book of the month, think they know me, but they don't. I wanted this book because I am noticing a trend, which I'm going to cancel book of the month soon because I really don't need any more books, but I really want some new books, like the fresh off the press, brand new debut writers, and I thought, wow, that's a perfect place to pick them from. So that's why I got them. But some also very brand new to me authors, and I can't say the name, but I'm going to show you the picture. And you've seen this book around, and it's beautiful. It's The Death of Vivek Oji, a novel. Akwaki Imizi? I don't know, but there's the cover. It's so smooth and pretty and beautiful. I just love it. I'm going to look at it for a while. I noticed these books are very short, and I'm happy about that because this is the year I've chosen to read 12 tomes, and I've shortened it to 6 because it's just not happening with the 12 because I do stuff like this. I go buy more books, and I also get books from the library. 245 pages, so this is actually a Sunday short because I can read a book, 250 pages, try to keep it 250 and under in a day on Sunday and talk about it. So I'm so happy that I chose that book. And then I also wanted another book. Now this is an older pick from May 2018, book of the month. And look at that. Small Country, a novel, Gail Fay. Or I don't know how to say his name. It might be Gail or Gail. and Gael, and it's very short. It's even shorter than 250 pages. I think I've already checked. It is 182 pages. Hopefully this is so good because the cover was intriguing. It's a new to me author, and that's my book of the month. Pick and choices, whatever you want to call them. That's it. That's all I got for you. And the video's long enough. This is Diane Whitmore of Whitmore Reads. And I hope you guys had a wonderful Saturday, because I did. Why am I looking all around? Because I think I forgot to say something, but we're going to chalk up that to, oh well.